Welcome everyone to my channel. This is my first video, so bear with me. I know there's some things that could be done better, but right now this is what we're working with. So if you've chosen this video, it's more than likely that you have lost a pet. Whether it be a cat, a cockatoo, a dog, whatever the case, you're here because it hurt that you lost your animal. I'm here with you. I'm so sorry that you're having to go through this. This past Monday on 11/4/2019, we lost our dear Brucey. What a beautiful creature he was. And I feel like he's been on me this week and in my heart to do this video so that we can help others, give you guys some tips and some ideas on how you can further your healing process during this. I feel like this is a great way to keep Brucey's spirit alive and a great way to offer comfort, as I know that's what he would be doing at this time. So I think I'll tell you the story a little bit later, but first off, I just want you to know that what you're feeling is 100% normal. The pain, the heart-wrenching pain, that's that there's really no words for it, but that's 100% normal. Whatever you're feeling right now is true to you. And just know that your pet is no longer in pain. If it was if he was healthy before he or she had gone, just know that they served their purpose here on earth at that time, and that they were meant to go ahead and go on to the other side. And there's not anything that you could have done to have changed that. So I hope that offers a little bit of comfort, and I also know, I have to be real, there's not anything that I can say that can make the pain go away. But if I can at least assist you in your journey, that's what we're here for. And a brief insert would be that this was not my first choice on a video topic. I didn't really intend for it to be about a death of a pet and how to grieve that. But the idea behind this channel will be to be able to assist you in many different life avenues, not just pets, not just, your relationships, mainly self-growth, spiritual growth. That's why I went ahead and designed this channel. I've gone through a lot to where I can help relate to situations that you may be processing, maybe just, and maybe not just the heavy topics, but I do want to be able to help you with that and give you some resources on basically anything that crosses my mind that I think that we could help at any level. So just stay tuned. There will be other things that I will be addressing in hopes just to make you a better you. That's what we're doing. We're competing against ourselves every day, trying to be a better us. We're not competing against anyone else. So I don't want to get off topic. This is about Bruce and about your loved one too. So I just want to say that way you can be prepared for future postings as well. So one of the first things we did, we lost Bruce due to a heart issue. He had been on heart medication for about 3 months, and there was a point where the medication just wasn't working anymore. So we went to the vet, and the vet insisted that we see him. He was on oxygen, and it was terrible. I'm going to do my best not to get emotional. It's been a week. I've done a lot of work in that week. But it may happen. So I just want you to not worry about that too much. But we saw him on oxygen. It wasn't long after that he went ahead and passed. And I would like to mention as well that my loved one, Jason, he was actually his dad, obviously, and Jason and I have only been together for a short time, so I only had that amount of time with Brucey. Jason had him for 9 years, so I had him for less than a year, but I felt like the time that Bruce and I had together we were making up for lost time. He was always on my lap, always cuddling, always, doing what puppies do. He was beautiful. So, but what I'm trying to get to is the fact that we did have to go ahead and put him down. So he was gasping for air, and it was the only thing that we could really do at that time. Either that, or they were going to have to put a trachea in, and it was not ideal for any of us. So what we did was we we held Brucey. We held him when he passed. We held him for about 3 hours afterwards. We, held him back and forth. So that's different for everyone. My parents and I grieved a pet. It's been a few years ago, but we were done within like 30 minutes to an hour. That doesn't mean that we loved her any less. It just meant that we grieved differently for that pet. So maybe we weren't as close to her. I'm not sure, but that's just to give you kind of something to think about. Is it's going to be different for every single person. So everything that I'm saying is going to fluctuate for everybody. So I just want you to take what's going to work for you and apply it. And if it doesn't, then it's going to work for someone, or it may not at all. But my point is just be gentle with you at this time. And so to go back to kind of where we were with, we held him, we loved him, and finally we decided to cremate him. So we put him, we held, it was a 30-minute drive to the cremation place. So that's kind of also why it was so long. But when we realized that we were at the cremation place and we couldn't give him up, like, they're like, okay, we need to take him to the back. And then we're still like, but they were very kind. They were like, just whenever you're ready. But initially I'm thinking, okay, you guys close in 30 minutes. We already talked about it takes an hour and a half for him to, so I'm kind of giving you some background so that you know how I came to these conclusions of the steps that helped me through this. So, because I want to be real as possible with you guys. That's another part of this channel is going to be real. We don't, there's not going to be anything but that. So, but anyway, so we finally were able to give him to the guy. So, holding and loving the animal was something that, he was a Chihuahua, so we were able to hold him, but I have a 55-pound lab. So that's something that you may not be able to do for an absorbent amount of time. And so, but obviously touching the animal and being, loving to the animal as they pass is a huge thing that's going to help you as well. So anyway, we were able to get past the cremation part. I did notice that they had some like memorial keepsakes that you can do for your animal. I think that is that's a treasure. Whenever I found out that they took Bruce's paw print for that, I love it. I do have plans of doing that. I hated the idea of him being reduced to a keychain or being reduced to a necklace or whatever. But at the same time, that's something that you get to keep with you. So it's beautiful. So I think it's a really great way. Now that I've moved forward in my healing, I do see more value in doing that. So anyway, so that would be the first thing, is kind of keepsakes and stuff like that. Their collars, I wore his collar all night. I didn't want to take it off. It was, that's for each their own. That's something that really, I actually forgot that I had it on at one point, because it just felt like part of him. So, something else, I'm sorry, I got just a little bit of a runny nose. So something else that we did, we found his, his little hoodie. I don't want to say found, that's improper words, but we kept it. He had it on all throughout, because it's getting cold outside. I'm in Arkansas, so it was cold. He always had it on. So what we did was we went ahead and we slept with it. That's for each their own as well. I'm going to probably say that a million times, because I don't want you to feel like, oh, my animal never wore clothes, now I can't, no, it's not that at all. We had his Christmas toy that he got last year. These are just things that we keep with us until we're ready. We went ahead and we put his ashes with someone else. He had a little girl, his girlfriend, Jada. So it was really healing for us to get their boxes together, because they were both cremated. So those are things that just kind of warm your heart. I hope this video doesn't go too long and you guys get bored with hearing any of this. I found whenever I logged on to YouTube and I watched, I'm going to tell you more about that in a little bit, but I watched this lady and she was just so warm and loving, and I wanted I could relate to her, and I wanted to offer on a deeper level what I could to on my end, you know, because she was terrific, and I wanted to be able to assist in another way, but join her as well, because I do want to share her video with you, because she offered some great support. I gave it to my loved one, and I came home the other day, he's watching her stuff too. So there's a lot of resources on YouTube, and I just hope to be part of that for you. So let's see. So what else did we do? I have some notes here because I wanted to make sure that I was clear with you, because I knew that this was going to be an emotional topic. So be easy on yourself. And like we talked about, that's huge, you know, because you want to almost force yourself to just get over it. It was just a pet or whatever people may say. You know, that's not true. Jason and I don't have kids. So that was our baby. So I don't ever want to experience that again, but the truth is you have to if you want to have a pet. So let's see. So one thing that I really did was I was so grateful and thankful, and I can't say that I took any deep breaths. We'll get into why I'm saying that later, but I was so grateful for Brucey, and I let him know that as he was passing, and right before, I just let him know that he meant the world to me. And so communication is so big, and communicate, you know, it took me a few days. It took me maybe a little bit longer to be able to talk about him. I missed a whole day of work. I know not everyone gets to have that luxury, and I'm so grateful that I did. But I woke up that morning. I already had planned on going in maybe later that day, like at noon or so. But whenever it was like 10:30, 11 o'clock, and I'm still not myself, I still felt completely, I can't even really tell you how I felt, because it was not myself. It was, I don't want to use the word numb, but it was sort of, I was just almost lifeless. I felt like I just lost my best friend. So when that happens, you just want to lay in bed. I laid in bed until 11 or so that day. I went to bed at 8 o'clock that night, and I just slept, and I mourned, and I held his hoodie. And I think all of these things are natural, and these are things that everyone's going to do differently. And that's what I need you to understand, and give yourself that space that you need, that, because it's a big deal whenever that pet was like your child, and that pet was all that I don't want to say all that you have, but maybe it was all that you had. In my case, I do have 2 other animals, but Brucey, I've always said that he left a Brucey-sized hole in my heart, because there's nothing else that could fill that hole except for Bruce, right? So anyway, so one thing that I did immediately after we got home was social media. I'm a very private person, so this YouTube channel is kind of a little bit opposite of that, because I do want to be open with you guys and real, but I'm kind of a private person, so I keep things to myself, obviously. So whenever I put this stuff on YouTube, on Facebook, or Instagram, any social media platform, it was really healing to be able to look through all of those pictures, all of those memories. I mean, Bruce was 12, so I knew that we were going to have to deal with this. It was just it's a circle of life, right? So, so that being said, it was just really, going through and looking at every memory, everything that we have made together. He would always sit in my lap, like I said earlier. Anytime I sat down for 2 seconds, he was there. He was ready. He's like, "Let's cuddle, Mom." So the point of that is, I mean, Jason put like 40 pictures on social media. I didn't put that many, but it was very healing and relaxing to be able to put all of that on there and be able to review our lives together. So it may be too soon immediately when you get back home, but that's what worked for us. So we did do that. And I've just bumped this. I need to stop moving around. But anyway, so let's see what else. I also put Bruce on as my wallpaper. I know that sounds very, there's my boy. Everyone does things differently, and that's what I chose to do. I can tell now that I'm progressing that it's a little bit harder, because whenever I first put it on there, I was like, oh, I get to see my Bruce every morning, because that's where he was there every single morning for me. So so now it's kind of like, oh, my Bruce, like this just keeps opening up a wound. So there may be a time where I'm like, okay, even though when I put it on there, it's like, I'm never taking this off, this is going to be on here forever. Well, and that's another thing I wanted to address. Life pushes you forward, whether, I'd almost just, this is where we're at, right? I just almost rather I'd just been sad forever for him. But really, you can't be productive, you can't, so life pushes you forward, and it's like, whether you're ready or not, you have to move forward. So that's the tough reality that set with me a few days after, I guess, he passed on Monday. It was about Thursday when I realized that. We're on Sunday now. So anyway, this may be one of those things that's not for everybody, but saying his name, like I used to call him Brucey Bear, that really, it warmed my heart. Like when I got home, I can already feel getting emotional about it. He was really special. So yeah. Let's see. Something I did this pretty quick. So he passed away on a Monday. I took Tuesday off. Tuesday afternoon, I did some yoga. I did some, obviously it was not hardcore. I don't even do hardcore yoga for real, but, so I, yoga with Adriene, that's the source that I wanted to give you, all free yoga videos. I think she has some things that, some series or something like that may cost something, but don't quote me on that. I use her free stuff that she gives. So, but she taught me that you need to breathe, because during traumatic times, you're not breathing. So I was like, okay. So for I think it was 20 minutes on a grieving video, it may have been 26 minutes, I'm not sure. We just practiced breathing, because I didn't realize that I really hadn't, because whenever you're bawling your eyes out, you're, gasping for air yourself. So, yeah, so that's a huge thing. So whether you do yoga or not, really, it was just a setting. You were just setting and breathing. I think there was a few light stretches in it, but that's something that I'm going to be an advocate for, is yoga and journaling. So that's going to be something that you hear throughout this channel. I hope to post every Sunday. I don't have a time that I'm going to do it, but that's the plan, is every Sunday. So anyway, I think that's about it. I did want to mention this book by Maria Shriver. It's backwards, I know, but you get the idea. It's called I've Been Thinking, by Maria Shriver. On page 100, it's okay. In fact, it's crucial to grieve is the chapter title. I want to share something else with you, that this book, I've had this book for a little over a year. It's a beautiful book. It's beautifully written. She's so sweet, and then, oh my goodness. So I'm going to put a link in the description for that as well. But what I also wanted to say is that book, that chapter actually came to me last year in August. We had lost my grandmother, and I really felt like it was on me to be there for my granddad. They had been married for, I'm sorry, I kind of forgot, 29 years, 28 years. It may have over 25 years. I know that. But on the spot, I kind of forgot what it is. So, but I found that chapter, and he was trying to kind of, I don't want to say rush the grieving process, but he wanted to like kind of move forward on some things. And I'm like, you don't have to do that right now. Like, you don't have to move her coffee mug because, you know, it needs clean. Like, it's okay to keep it there because that's really what your heart wants. You know, your heart wants to see it there. It needs to see it there. So, I mean, in this book, there's short chapters, and that, I don't know, I really like that. It makes me feel like I'm progressing through the book. And actually, it was one of Oprah's book club choosing. So, but anyway, I was really helping with my granddad through that because she made it, I may have already said this, but, you know, talking about stuff like this is, you're not exactly clear in your mind 100% because these are things that you want to be clear to others about, but at the same time, whatever, you know what I'm trying to say to you. So, and if not, leave me a comment and I'll try to explain it better. But just the whole thing, the whole takeaway from this is grieve at your own pace. Don't let anyone tell you that it was just a pet. Don't let anyone tell you that you should be over it by now. No. If you need to, take the whole year to think about your pet, love your pet. But, you know, the point is your own pace. If you feel like you're moving too fast, then that's when you slow down. And that's, you know, these are things, if you feel overwhelmed of moving forward, slow down. These are all kinds of things that we're going to talk about in the future over different topics as well. A lot of these concepts apply to many different areas in life. So, but I think that's really it. I hope that you guys do subscribe and, you know, turn the notification bell on, because the more that you guys support this channel, the more that I'm going to be able to assist others. So if this never takes off, that's fine with me, because that's why I named it One Heart at a Time, because if there's one person that I can help on any of these topics that I choose to post about, that's done it for me. That's all that I need, is just one person at a time, because that's really all that matters. So thank you for your time. I hope that this did help you in some sort of way.